Guys, I'm bored. I figured I would do a little streaming today because I don't really have too much going on. I was going to start with some. I've been working on these Pride coasters for a local Pride event, and I have a couple done for for the regular rainbow. So there's gonna be 4 separate styles of them. The 4th isn't done yet, but like there's your typical rainbow, and I've got these really cute like pinwheel type designs. And then I've got one that's on an angle. And the last one I was going to do, which again is not done, is I guess kind of this quartered, not quite. I don't know. I don't know how to phrase this one. Call it what you want. But these were going to be the 4th one, so they were going to come in like just a little 4-pack, kind of like that. So you get different ones with every pack that you get. I'm trying to do at least 4 packs of each, so I've got a stack going over here. But the next one I was going to work on was the trans flag. So that is what's currently sitting in front of me. I've got my fabrics picked out. For the regular rainbow, I just went with some Moda solids, and then for everything else, so I have my trans flag picked out. I've also got these other ones here. I've got some stuff for like non-binary and pan and ace. I've also got bisexual that I'm gonna do too. So these are kind of the colors I'm working with. But this entire collection right here is what does this say? Shadow Play by Maywood Studio. These are super cute. I'm a big fan of just simple blenders, some good textures going on. Part of me kind of wishes that I would have done something not solid for the regular gay flag ones, but I'm kind of cool with that too. So all of this will eventually be turned into little coaster sets. I've got some backing fabric picked out. I don't know if you could quite see it on the gay flags, which I need to go get more. But there was this really cute Valentine's Day collection that came out, and they still had some sitting at the quilt shop. So I got this for the I got this for more of the sexualities, and then I got some basic hearts to do for the identities. So something fun I figured I'd play around with. I am just kind of getting started here, so I put that back. Put my scraps down in there. I still need to do quite a bit of cutting. I also want to do the I want to put this link up on my social media real quick, so give me a hot second. I normally don't stream very often, but I figured I got nothing else going on. Something to do. How the hell? Okay, there we go. Where else can I share this? I'll put it there. And the water cooler. Because people in the water cooler are very cool. Yippee! Alright, I'm going to start by cutting out some strips. I already know what sizes I need. I have 1¼ inch that I did, like, these are all 1¼ inch strips, and then these ones, which needed to be a little bit wider to fill out the space, these are all 1¾ so I will be cutting some of those. Hopefully enough this time, because I had to go back and keep cutting more every time. So I will start with white. We'll move my other colors out of the way. Grab my cutting board. I'm gonna have to probably square this up just a little bit. Also, hi, I'm like looking at the chat for the first time and I haven't really like registered anything. I'm good. I'm doing okay. How are you? How is everyone doing? I think this will be alright. Gotta get my ruler. Now, I have not been quilting for very long, so, like, I don't have all the info in the world that I wish I did. Let's see if I can't. Do that quarter. Perfect. Alright, little scrap. We're all squared up. Now I can actually get to cutting. So I'm going to do, I should probably do at least 6 of these if I can, just to make sure I have enough. I'm not going to square up this other edge. I think I'll be okay without it. I fucked that one up. Yay! Sometimes my blade likes to go off kilter, which is exactly what happened there. So now I'll need to trim that again. I'm just gonna take off that little 1/4 inch there. That sucks, that's a bummer. Okay, that's all trimmed up again. There's 3. Also, no, I will not be doing any shoutouts, by the way. I see one comment about that, and pay me. Shoot me some money. If you pay me, I might do a little shout out. Or, you know, buy something from me. Then we'll talk. Okay, I'm at 4. Yeah, I'm still gonna do 6, I think. I ran out the previous times I was doing this with the rainbow flag, so I don't want to have to be stuck running out. So all of this is going to be strip pieced together, which is sewing long strips together and then doing the shape cuts that I need based off of those strips. Alright, so here's my 6th one. So these are all good to go. These are going to be for the, like, pinwheel and the straight stripes, and the other pinwheel looking thing. And then for my diagonal, I'm gonna do actually I might hold off on doing the diagonal because there might be a different way that I want to do it. Let me check something. I want to make sure my math is right. I feel like it's not for some reason. Yeah, my math's gonna be really weird. Okay. So since the trans flag has 5 stripes instead of 6, I cannot do that math for my diagonal, so I will have to play with that one a little bit more. Quilting math is strange. There are so many measurements that you need, and it can be really, really, really tricky. So, like, my coasters, I believe, they're 5 inches wide, but I think they're like 7 inches across. Yeah, just a little over 7 inches. So I'm gonna have to figure out what 7 divided by 5 is. And then I have to add my seam allowance back onto that, so 7 divided by 5, well, that's the wrong button. 1 2/5. And it always gives me strange fucking math, so 1 2/5 is, that does not exist on this. We don't measure in fifths, so I'll have to come back to that. In the meantime, I'm going to get my next fabric prepped and ready to go, and I will come back to those later. I don't feel like fucking around with that math right now. So I'll fold that up all nice. Come on, blue. This blue is so pretty too. Very, very happy with this blue. Okay. You know, this one's not so bad. I still need to square it up, but it's not too bad. So I'm just going to take maybe I need to push this up a little more. There we go. I'm just going to take this 1 single 1/4 inch off. And then that should be good. Okay, now I can actually start getting into my strips. strip number 1. I'm going to need a new blade soon. That's super cool. I'm realizing that it's not liking to make these cuts. I'm finding I have to push a lot harder to be able to get that to go. Hello. I also know this critter. How are you? Alright, I got 4 here. Need 2 more of this blue. Okay, now I've got my 6 blue strips. Okay, I got those ready to go. Now I can move on to my pink ones. How'd I have that other one? Like that, I guess. Pink time. This one might be a little easier to square up. Oh yes, much easier. Goodbye, scrap. I could do the cool thing today and actually prep everything that I need for like all of my little coaster sets. And that would put me in a really good spot. But we'll see. I'm kind of thinking I might have to go back and get another white. Realizing that the trans flag and the ace... Fuck. And the non-binary flag all has white in it. I should have bought 2. I'll have to go back and make sure they have more. Oh. The other thing I just realized is that while the 1 1/4 inch works for... Oh, man. I goofed my math even harder. 1 1/4 inch works for when I have 6 stripes in a straight line, and it works for when I have these types of patterns, but I'm realizing that 1 1/4 inch does not work for straight stripes when I only have 5 of them. So I'm going to have to fuck around with my math on that. Yippee! I might have just cut fabric and I didn't need to cut fabric. Oops. There's more math that I have to do. My favorite. I will at least cut out this. Like, this will still be fine for the other pieces. Oh, yeah. Preparing your supplies and suffering later, which I realized I just did. Like, yeah. Yeah. This is a great time. I do this every time. I wrote out all the things that I needed. Like, I have a big checklist of all the different flags I was gonna do, and like all the different styles that I was going to do them in. And the one thing I didn't think about writing down, because I figured, okay, I'll memorize it, was the measurements. Kicking myself. Fucking rip. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to spend more than like $100 on all of my supplies. The several fat quarters that I got for, I think I bought like, I think about 15 or so, just to be able to make all the project, like this entire thing. And that was like $86. And I'm realizing now I'm probably gonna have to go back and get more white. I know I'm gonna have to get more of the backing fabric. I do this every time. Oops. That's okay. At the very least, it's something I can have as readily available for, like, stock that isn't for a Pride event. Like, this is going to be for a Pride event, and I was only going to take a couple sets of each because I'm like, I don't want to try my luck and make more than what will sell, but also having extras means I can post them online. And now I'm just prepping things so I can have them online. What a great time. This is a great day. We started off so strong. So, okay. Well, at least I know I have enough to be able to do the 2 pinwheel styles. The other thing, though, was like when I was cutting apart the rainbow flag, I do have lots of extra scraps, so I might do some, like, more scrappy style pieces. I think that would be super cute. Like making, like a couple placemat sized pieces of just like a bunch of scraps. I guess as a reference, Tomboy X just dropped some stuff for Pride, and they have a particular design that's like the squares that are like colored on an angle. They actually kind of look like one of the things I'm working on, of just all the different Pride flags, and I think that sort of visual of like throw all the Pride flags onto one piece and then have that be a cohesive piece would be super cute. So I'm definitely going to do that with my scraps. Okay. So I've got my 6 strips of each color. So this is all going to be, I'm going to strip piece this stuff, which is sewing all these together and making one big piece, and then cutting that big piece into the smaller pieces that I need to then quilt them back together. So that's good. Do I want to figure this math out on stream, or do I want to just roll with what I've got and start sewing? Decisions. Decision paralysis. But yes, these fabrics are so freaking cute. I love these a lot. Again, this is the Shadow Play line by, what was that, Maywood Studios? Really fucking cute. I might do the math. One sec. Actually, that math is super easy. I don't need to do the math. If it's 5 inches across and I know I need 5, that is just 1 inch plus the seam allowance. 1.5 inches? Cool. Alright. That's fucking sorted. 1.5 inches it is. Some of quilt math is really super duper easy, and then other quilt math is not. Like when I go to do the diagonal, that's not going to be easy. That is going to be big time confusion. I'm not excited about it. And since I'm only making 4 of these, I really only need to cut... Let me see. Cut quarters are usually 18 by 22, and they were 22 this way. This one in particular is 21. Ooh. I could get away with cutting just 1 strip. Yay, math. Dude, I question whether or not I'm smart enough for math, like, every single fucking day. This is kind of one of those things between this and making fursuits where I have to question myself, especially regarding, like, I need the measurements to work out here, but I also need them to work out on a custom-fitted costume, so I have to continuously force myself to be somewhat good at math. And fractions, and dividing fractions, and it is a particular hellscape. It is not fun. Let me see. 1.2, or 1 2/5 plus 0.5, because I need the 1/2 inch seam allowance. This is 1.9. I'm almost tempted to just do a solid 2 inches and then trim as needed. I think 2 inches will be okay. And then I can just have like a slightly larger seam allowance. That or I go smaller and do 1 7/8. I might actually do that. Because I'm going to have to kind of trim these up anyway. I think 1 7/8 will be alright. So I need... I'm going to say probably 4 of these. Yeah. If I can get 4 of them. my god, I'm just going to barely make it. Oh shit. Oh. Goddamn. Alright. Fucking, that's the scrap. I think I have just a tiny bit left on this if I absolutely need. Ooh. It is, it's missing a little bit. But in a pinch, this might work for another one of these if I absolutely need it to. Thank God. I love having usable scraps. Cool beans. So that's for the 5. What the fuck else did I do? I think the only other ones that I have left to do are all 4 stripe, which that will be super easy. I think for that one, I'm gonna do something a little bit different with the pinwheel styles. Something maybe a little more... Like, it's easy to break up the rainbow flag into the warm colors and the cool colors, and it's very easy to do the trans flag as, like, instead of doing blue, pink, white, pink, blue, I can just do blue, white, pink, and it's still a trans flag, and I think that will be okay. I think that will work. But, like, it's kind of hard to break up, like, the non-binary and the ace flag. Those, it gets, like... I think that would be okay if I did, like, 4 on my pinwheel styles. So much of this project, by the way, is me talking to myself and talking myself through these issues, so I apologize. I'm gonna do the blue next. So I need one that is... What did I say that was? 1.5 inches. And then 4 of the 1 7/8. Get my 1.5 inch out the way. Okay, that one's good. Time for 1 7/8. Why is this looking like I'm not going to be able to get that amount out of the blue? Dear God, I fucking hope I can. I'm debating if I want to throw music on or if YouTube is going to copyright me for it. I do have my second phone, and I do have earbuds. But if I do that, I probably won't talk as much, so maybe not. And yes, I have a scrap. We're so good. We are cooking. got all my blue strips, so we're good on that. And then my white. The fucking white, it's like, it looks really good. It's got like this, I don't know if you can see it. It's not solid white. It's got like a really light gray texture to it. Like this on the side is solid, and this is like not. But like up against the pink and the blue, it looks really good. I will definitely have to buy like 2 more of these. I should probably make a list of the shit I gotta buy. Lord knows I'll get to the quilt shop and have an ADHD moment and not remember a single fucking thing. There's my 1.5. Set that aside. Speaking of ADHD, I just started new meds recently, and those are going okay. I actually took some this morning so that I could get through my mountain of dishes without overthinking it, and it's been really helpful, especially with like these projects. Getting stuck in the not necessarily decision paralysis, maybe decision fatigue, and task fatigue was a big one. Like, I could only work on something for like 15 minutes or something at a time, half an hour at best, and then I was like, I am really bored, I'm really exhausted, I can't like think straight. The meds have kind of toned that down quite a lot. I still kind of get those thoughts where I'm like, I don't really want to work on this right now, but they're a little easier to push through. I can stay consistently focused. I don't think I'd be able to tackle a project this fucking big if I did not have meds. So, always a good thing. Alright, I got my 4 white strips. And my 1.5 inch, and all of my other ones. And you know what? I am actually going to write this down super quick so that I do not forget. Because my dumbass will forget. Okay. Oh my god, go figure, my fucking pen dies as soon as I start. You raggedy bitch. One sec. Oh, I got a pencil. That'll work. The rainbow was 1.25 inches. Diagonal was... What the fuck was diagonal again? Oh, I can't remember what I said. Duh, idiot, measure the thing. 1 1/8, so that was plus a 1/2 inch. 1 3/4. 75. Okay. And then trans was 5 stripes. So the 1.25 worked for the pinwheel styles, and 1.5 for the, what did I say 1.5 for? Insane, stupid, straight stripes. And then 1 7/8 for the diagonal stripes. Okay, cool. Now I won't forget. But I'm gonna have to keep adjusting my math every time I need to do a different flag. So that's super cool. Brain go burr. And then I will probably be okay with like doubling some of these and removing the seam allowance or adjusting the seam allowance for the 3 stripe flags. Like I'm doing pan and I'm doing bisexual. So those will be super easy. So I'm not even worried about those. But my 4 stripes, I will have to fuck with those. Okay. Move that out the way. I'm going to be back super quick. I need to go grab my water bottle. I am very thirsty. But y'all can look at this in the meantime. You can just look at those. I'll be right back. I've returned with my hydration. We are so hydrated in here. Okay, I may have to adjust where I put my camera. Bear with me a minute. I'm gonna move my sewing machine and start getting some of these strips sewn together. So I can get that out of the way. Oh my god, hey, thread, work with me here. Here we go. I had a needle that was right here too. Where the fuck did that go? Hey, so needle on the carpet is, like, cool and all, by the way. That's not scary or anything. Cool. At some point tonight, I'm gonna step on a needle, and it's going to be painful and tragic. So that's great. What the fuck? I literally had it sitting here, and now it's gone, and I don't know where. I'll have to look for that later. Put this away, though. The other fucking thing about the ADHD meds is that all I want to do now... Oh, I found it. Oh, thank God. The needle. All I want to do now is organize stuff, which is insane because I hate organizing, like, literally anything and everything. You know, this might be an okay angle. Just, like, not moving it at all. Or I could... I think that'll be okay. I have, like, the weirdest little setup going on. The ADHD meds make me want to organize like crazy. Which is, like, something I was told to expect, but I didn't quite understand it until I felt it. And now I'm like, oh, I fucking get it now. For the longest time, like, I could not get myself to, like, stay organized. I have a little bin now. I have a little bin of all my shit. Because my brain finally realized, hey, keep all your shit in one place instead of, I don't know, having it all over. Crazy how that works. Crazy how that shit functions. Okay. I'm gonna start with the 1 1/4 inch strips. So these are gonna be for my 2 pinwheel styles. Oh, I was going to do intersex as well, so that one's gonna be fun. I don't know if I'm gonna do the stripes. I was definitely gonna do, like, how this is set up, but have this be yellow all the way around, and then purple, and then a yellow center. So that will be my intersex design, because I want to include those so bad, and that will be so easy. But it's a little, like, how do I make different designs out of that? I could do some basic stripes, with just the colors, but I guess we'll see. Make sure all my shit's even. My shit is not even. I still gotta iron everything too. other thing that I really wanted to do with some of my scraps, I'm using like heavy felt sheets for the inside of my coasters, and when I cut that apart, I get like a ton of scraps, and I don't want to waste them. If I could grab them. So I think one of the things I was gonna do was like some of these smaller pieces. I think these are like 2 inches by, what is this, 5 inches? I think that would be okay for like a keychain, key fob type thing. I see a lot of those on people's key rings. So like do the quilted on both sides and then have like a cute border edge on it. I've got stuff to do little key ring holes and the, why am I blanking on those? The little rings that most keychains are held on with. I got a bunch of those. So I have a fat fucking stack, and I will definitely have more, but I'm gonna have some different like Pride themed keychains on there. So this will be super cute. And I have these bigger pieces. Still not sure what to do with these yet, but we'll see. I could cut them up smaller. I don't want to have to, but I could. Just some stuff to think about. And this Pride event is in like middle of August, so it's kind of a little late. Toledo kind of does theirs like super late. But I'm okay with it. It actually gives me time to get some stuff figured out. I'm doing all of my white and blue strips first, just so I can chain piece them, and then I will attach the pink once these are pieced. Chain stitching is good if you don't want to waste thread in between pieces. Alright, stay lined up, please. Okay, it is like very warm in here. The AC in the front of my apartment does not come all the way to the back of my apartment, and I'm kind of dying, so Good times. Also, holy shit, it's already been like an hour? What the hell? That's the other thing about the ADHD meds is time doesn't exist when you're taking them. Barely feels like it's been 20 minutes, but guess it hasn't. These with the white and the blue to sew together, and then I can attach the pinks. You know what? Trans flag popped off, if I'm being honest. The person who designed this flag did such a good job choosing the colors. And then to have fabric that kind of just matches so perfectly is chef kiss. Love this shit. All those. So yeah, when you're chain piecing stuff together, you only get like a little bit of thread in between, and that saves so much of your thread. Where'd my clippers go? So I'm not wasting like 5 or 6 inches on each stop and start, which is like sometimes like almost a foot of thread. That shit's usable. Okay, and I'll trim the tail off of this. And now I can sew my pink on, which I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do that. I think that'll be okay. Pink time. I'm going to hold off on ironing these until I get all of them done, but they will be ironed. I'm going to iron my seams open so that everything lays nice and crispy flat. And then I have another area where I do that, so once I'm ready to iron everything, I'll move the camera over and show you from over there. It does make sometimes sewing this down a little trickier. I have a lot of bulk in the way. It's like bubbling up You know what? Another thing I just realized that I didn't think about. My 5 stripes. I'm gonna need double the pink and the blue. So I have enough fabric, I think, left over to do the 1.5 inch extra stripes, and then I'm gonna have to go get more. Yay! More realizing things after the fact. Why do I do this to myself? Also, it is supposed to storm soon, and I wish it would just fucking storm already. Like, my apartment is so hot, and it's because the bricks got really warm over the last week. It's been like mid-90s, and at night it only drops down to like low 80s, if that. And it's been so fucking humid. And then it rained this morning, and it's cooler out. But I really want it to keep raining so that the bricks cool off. My apartment has shit for insulation. It is probably about 80 degrees in this room right now, but I'm built like a lizard, so this is like fine for me. But I think any hotter than this, and I would not be back here. Come on. Ooh. This 3-stripe, but like with pink, maybe like a little more creamy color and then a brown would be so cute for like a Neapolitan themed like set of coasters. Find some cute little ice cream for the backing. That'd be effing cute. Who was texting me? Nobody bothered me, and then suddenly people are bothering me. Okay. I feel like maybe I should pick a day that I just actually set aside the time to stream. How do we feel about streaming Sundays? I'm not doing anything ever on a Sunday. I'm normally home. I never really have shit going on. Oh. Excuse me. I think streaming Sundays might work. Maybe I can actually make a legitimate schedule for them. I know a lot of people who go live on, like, TikTok wind up getting a fairly massive audience pretty quickly. It would be nice to get some more eyes on the stuff I do. Like, I'm not looking to be famous, but I do want to make money. If any of the people that are watching have any experience being live on TikTok, let me fucking know. How's that go? How's it working for you? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Is it worth it? TikTok's kind of scary. Yippee! These are all done. Oh, water. My strips. Okay, so my my 1.5 inch, which is going to be for the straight stripes. I'm going to need to cut a couple other pieces for those. So I might do that now and then get those pieced together. But I will need more of the white. No. I will need more of the pink and the blue to be able to do the diagonals. Like, I could sew some of them up right now. I guess I could. But I don't want to have to do that. I'm going to get these cut first. First and foremost. Scooch. Where's my cutting board? My big ruler. Okay, I need 1.5 inches. Oh, thank God I have just enough. It's a little uneven. Quite literally cutting it close. I have like millimeters to spare here. My tiny little scrap. Glad I saved these. And my pink, which is thankfully a little bigger. Not so scared about this one. Okay. Little scrap. Now I officially have no more left to do the other things. So that's cool. Put that back down. And then I will get these sewn together. Thank you. It's strip time. Where the rest are my 1.5 inches. Here's all my big ones. No. Why are we shredding? No. Okay. And these are ready for when I'm ready to go back to them. Okay. We've done it, folks. We got our strips. So I'm going to sew all of this together, and this, once it is shrunk down, will be enough for 4 of these coasters. I'm not going to worry about chain piecing this. I would just prefer that I do it correctly and not fuck up the order of my stripes, because I will be so annoyed if I do that. It will be a very sad boy. Okay. Get in there. Time for the other pink one. Okay, time for my last blue stripe. And then once I get that sewn on, I can scoot you guys and we can start ironing some of this stuff. It will look so much more put together when it is ironed, I promise. Okay, move all my strips. Reorganize just a couple of things here. I've already got my iron set up. I've got some water. Okay. Now let's see what angle works best. Ooh, my phone is hot. That, I don't think that really shows quite enough. Maybe down here will be okay. My phone is like on the craziest angle right now. Let me see if I can just put you down. Maybe that'll be better. Okay. And then I will come over here and sit. All that is nice and folded up. Oop. I want to get these edges just where this blue and this pink connect. I did not iron where the white touches the pink, but I think that'll be okay. And then I'm going to see if I can't, like, see if I can do all these at once. I can do it on the 3 strips, but can I do it on the 5s? Trim some of this shit up. Okay, that's much better. Like I said earlier, I press my seams open. I like how flat they look. And then my iron isn't grabbing any of the bumps if they're just pressed to the side. Okay. Do a little bit. Go over to this next one. Kind of grab both. Okay. It would be kind of nice to get one of those tripods for my phone that I can maybe angle down so you get more of a top view of what it is I'm doing. Alright, those are open. Let's see if this works. This works so fine on the other ones, but I kind of have a feeling this one's going to fight me about it. Come on. Here we go. I don't know what that was, but there was something on my iron. Neat. Okay. Alright. That worked surprisingly well. Now all of those are ironed nice and flat. So then I can flip it over. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of water just to really set those seams. There was something on here. It's suddenly gone. Okay. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but one of my favorite things is when this thing starts steaming. And it's just these little tss type noises. We fucking did it. We so did it. transflag the long way, which maybe what I can do now. Nope. Hold on. Let's see. Oh no. Oops. I overshot that a little bit. Small error. I realize now that maybe 1.5 inches was just a little too big. Even though I did 1/4 inch seam allowances, because this is like 5.5 inches wide and it needed to be 5 inches. I think I'm gonna roll with it. I think it'll be okay. But these, once I get the binding on, these blue lines might be a little thinner. God damn it, it's always something. That's okay. But I can at least get these trimmed up. And I'm going to trim right against all my little selvages here, so those will go bye-bye. Trim this. Yeah, this thing is 5 inches wide, and she is a little wider, so I might have to go in and like manually trim, but I don't know. Yeah, because everything wound up being like, everything is 1 inch wide. It's strange. I don't know. Super weird. There's one. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, when I get my binding on these edges, my blue stripes are going to be a little thinner, which is fine. I think if I wanted to prevent this, what I should have done is for like the pink and the white done just a little bit smaller, like instead of 1.5 inches, I could have done like 1.25 inch, and then the blue could have stayed 1.5 inch, and maybe that would have worked out. But no, I always do things wrong. So I'm just going to trim these and say fuck it, because that's about all I can do right now, is say fuck it. One. Why is it on an angle? No. That's okay. It's okay, I tell myself. It's a handmade item. It is going to be a little wonky. Things are going to be weird. It is pointless if they are not weird. Okay, well, now I got all my little trans flags. Yippee! Backing is nice and neat. And I have some of these that I can iron them to super fast, even though they're not going to stick, but it will make them look really nice and clean. Yeah, I think what I should have done is just shrunk the middle stripes a little bit, but that's okay. That's on there. There is so much humidity in here. Whenever I iron something, I'm left with like a giant wet spot on my table. It's pretty fucking gross. At least it means I don't need to spray everything. Moral of the story, don't live in Ohio. Don't live in the Midwest right now. It's really bad. Midwest yucky. These look so good. They look so cute. I'm a big fan of these. I think if I wind up with any extra coasters, like I'm definitely gonna have 4 sets of like each. But if I have extras, I might do like a build your own pack type thing where you can pick out of a bin and like if you want to just buy 2, you can just buy 2, but if you want to buy like a full set, you can buy a full set of just random whatever. Maybe you need like a bisexual one along with your transgender one. Maybe you need like, I don't know. Maybe you live in a household with 3 non-binary people and then like 1 regular gay man. I don't know. Things to consider. So now I'm going to iron all of these strips out so that I can turn these into my pinwheels. These are a little easier. Get in there. Move my scraps over. There we go. Scooch. Iron out the rest. cannot explain why, but this just looks so tasty. Like, I want to eat this. I think what it is it's reminding me of those disgusting, like, taffy candies that you can buy that are, like, really long strips like this, and they always look like the trans flag, or sometimes they have, like, a yellow stripe in them, but they just fucking look like this, and they are so nasty. I see them all the time in, like, retro candy stores. And they have, like, the worst cardboard flavor imaginable. Yeah, there's almost, like, a little bit of charm to eating them. I don't know. But I have 6 of these, so I'm going to try to... I think I can get... Let's see. I think I need them to be 2.75 inches wide when I cut them. So that's 5.5 inches. Should be able to get, like, a good few out of these. I'm kind of hoping I have some extra. The triangle ones take up a ton of fabric for, like, no reason. One more. One more for the pile. I've got, let's see, this one and 2 more after this, for a total of 6. No, do I? Yeah. Yeah, there's 6 of them. I can count, I promise. Flip, damn it. Why do you suddenly not want to, like, drag? My iron is giving me problems. When I have the money for it, I really want to get one of those, the Oleo irons. Those are the fucking Cadillac of irons, basically. And it's like $80 for one, but it's, like, ceramic, like a ceramic hot plate. They're super smooth. Some of the bigger models have this crazy, like I don't have to set it like this. I can, like, lay it down like that, and then it has these little legs that pop out and lift the iron up away from the table. so that it like stays hot, but it's not actually touching the table. I'm like, that shit is fucking cool. I almost got one at Colossal Con. They had this very special, like, they had special pricing on it, but it was a Yaya Han collab, so it was like pink and purple with cherry blossoms on it, and I'm like, that shit's so fucking cute. And it is $20 cheaper than what I would buy for one, like, not at this con, but like I can't justify it right now. But maybe in the future. They have mini ones too. I kind of want a mini one, especially for the smaller stuff that I work on. That would be nice. Alright, this is my last strip. My last strip, and it is effing hot in here. 518. But I got all my strips. So these are good to be cut apart. I'm going to scoop back over to the other table and cut some of this stuff. Time to move again. I will put y'all here. Wow, this phone is still really hot. Samsung does not like live streaming. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna do is the square pinwheel, because that's super easy and I can get that out of the way. Move scraps. Yeah, toss those. Water. And we'll move all of this over here. Okay. And I can leave just a tiny bit of that selvage because I know it's going to either get sewn over or covered up by the binding. So, turn her around. And I need these to be 2 point... What the fuck did I say? Because they are 2.75. Yeah. They need to be 2 3/4 of an inch. And it takes 4 of them to make a coaster, and I would like to have 4 coasters. May or may not have to dip into the other strips to be able to do these. We'll see. Could probably bring you all a little closer, maybe. I really wish there was a better angle for it. Okay, I got 4 of them cut out. So these are going to look like that. Or I could do it the other way, where the blue is in the center. Which would maybe be kind of nice to have the blue in the center with how much of the blue is getting cut off of like the straight ones. Maybe the blue in the center for this one will be okay. But I could do both. We'll see. Much to think about. Or I could do, I don't know. don't see why I couldn't do both. Ooh, I totally could do both. How the hell did I arrange that? Yeah, I could do both. Well, maybe not, because that kind of looks funky. We'll see. We will play with it. But it looks like I can get about 7 out of each strip. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, 7. So that leaves me with a little scrap to add to my scrap pile. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know if my stream cut out or what. I just got like a reconnecting thing. Interesting. I think we're good. Like I had a text come through and then it said reconnecting, so... Fuck you, steals your bandwidth. Alright, I've got 3. Extra scrap. Now I need 2 more, which I'm going to take off of this strip. Okay, I've got all my little pieces for the first style pinwheel. So all my little stacks. So each of these are going to become its own coaster. So I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and then I have to drop off a phone charger, and I'm hoping afterwards I have enough time to actually hit the quilt shop, so we shall see. But this stack is good to go. So I will separate these, all my little pinwheels, and then the not fun, annoying one, which is now I get to cut out my triangles, which I kind of want to see how these look. I will assess. These are fun. I'm cutting these on the 45s. So, little scrap piece. I need like a triangle tool. I don't actually have one. I do kind of, no. Yeah, I have one. This should work. We'll see. We'll play with it. I'm not like following the measurements on it. I'm just trying to follow the angles instead. There. And then I'm not going to be able to get another one out of that. So that will go to the scrap. Okay. So I think this is kind of what was going to happen. Where it keeps that white ring in the center and then alternates the blue and the pink. And I think that would be really cute. That's kind of what I had in mind. There isn't really going to be any way that I can change the white ring in the center. I think that'll be okay. The other thing I could do is like, I could do that. I could do that, but I feel like the other way kind of has like more whimsy. My final option is just doing them like to where they just look like this all the way around. So like this side would be the mirror of this, and it would have a blue center and then the pink on the border. And then the opposite here on this one. But I feel like that's kind of, I don't know. I've seen some trans flags where they swap the colors depending on like if you are a trans man or a trans woman. They'll like, I think it's prioritizing whatever colors are on the outside. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do this one. This one keeps it easy for me, and then I also don't have to think about like, what if somebody gets one that they don't like, you know? So I'm gonna do this. I think this is good. So I will separate these though, just to make sure I have enough. I need to wind up with 8 of each. Please let me have enough with my strips. Having enough is all I want. Goodbye, selvage. This tool is strange. I like it. It is just very weird. think what it is that I haven't figured it out yet. Not that it's hard. I'm just not there yet. Oops. Please cut. Thank you. It's also kind of difficult trying to find like a good cutting angle. I feel like I keep having to go back and forth. And that's a little frustrating. But it's not so bad. I really should get one of those, get a spinning cutting mat. That might solve a lot of problems here. And that is too small. Okay, I have... What am I at? I have 2 whole strips left, and I'm at 5 of each. So that's good. It's looking like I won't have to cut anymore. I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. I should be able to get the rest with just this strip. Yeah, figuring out this angle is really hard. I think having a spinning cutting mat would solve a good chunk of these issues. Being ambidextrous might also solve some problems. Okay, there's 7. And we are at 8. So I got 1 more for the other stack, and then these are good. And I have a whole strip left over. Oh. So that means I have lots of little things I could do with that. So we'll see. I'm sure. I know one of the fun things I kind of thought about doing was, I have a big scrap of the rainbow stripes. I kind of thought about maybe making a couple of, like, bags and stuff. Like, using the backing fabric that I had chosen as a liner instead, and then having, like, a quilted bag. But I'm not going to focus on those because those are not the main priority. So we'll do that later. Okay. I got all my little selvages that I can toss. I think I might be good for today. I think 2 hours is alright. The longer I sit back here, the hotter it gets, and I'm kind of over it. I don't want to have to sew anymore and sit back here. But these are kind of the final results. I think these are super cute. Let's see if I can scooch them back a little bit. So this is what we've got. Oop. I think these are going to be the final designs. Again, I do kind of want to put the blue in the center for this one, just because I feel like in the solid stripes that I did, the blue is not going to take as much visual priority once I get the borders on. Like, when I get the binding on, it's going to cover, like, about as much as my thumb width is going to cover. And that, yeah, it'll make those stripes look a little skinnier. So I kind of want the blue to take up visual priority in this one. But these ones are all going to look like this, with the kind of pinwheel design and the white in the center. So, yeah, we did pretty good. Okay, it's hot. I'm ready to go. Goodbye. How do I? Haha. Okay, now goodbye.